Hello everybody, I'm back. I just finished filming a video to read chapter 9 and I was just enjoying it so much I thought I would continue. Chapter 10 is very short, so I will probably read this one separately and just give a few kind of shorter videos and a few that are obviously going to be longer. So let's go ahead and get started. This one is titled An Angelic Conference, and so in this one they're talking to Ilariel. Joanna, I expect there was a lot of angelic preparation for the birth of those who wished to become disciples of Jeshua. Could you tell us something about this, please? Ilariel, yes, several decades before the birth of Jeshua, a conference was held in the interlife, which is the time-space between lives, presided over by Archangel Michael. This conference was attended by human beings not an incarnation, and by a number of angels, especially angels who guide and assist those preparing to incarnate. These angels included the recording angels who keep records of karmic links and soul connections between beings. Human beings who were in incarnation at that time attended the conference during sleep state. Wow, that's very interesting. The object of this conference was firstly to gather and focus those volunteers who wished to assist in the forthcoming life and work of Jeshua. These volunteers included many souls who had worked with Jeshua before in a number of lifetimes, and could be said to constitute the soul family focusing around him. All spiritual teachers gather a soul group of friends, colleagues, followers, and supporters, and these would often wish to incarnate whenever their teacher happens to be on earth. When souls have worked together with the teacher over a number of lives, there is a strong but subtle connection linking them to the teacher and also to each other. This connection gets stronger over many such lives, and is the reason you instinctively know you can trust a person who happens to be within your soul family, even if you have only just met them. In reality, you have only just met them in this life, so these shared experiences and a shared recognition of the essence of the teacher bind you together with links stronger than those of parent and child or brother and sister. These are the people you have trusted with your life in other times and places, and that kind of experience leaves a deep imprint on the soul. The second object of the conference was to begin to plan how these souls might come together around the teacher in a certain time and a certain place. That is Israel 2,000 years ago. The angels started to investigate suitable families for the incoming souls, consulting the records of soul connections and karmic links, so that these souls would have reached adulthood at the time that Jeshua began his teaching work. They worked to orchestrate, we can think of no better word, all the subtle threads of these connections, together with possible parentage, so that the incoming souls would be born at the right time. The overarching aim was the building of a strong team of disciples around Jeshua, especially those in the first and second circles of disciples, both male and female. The connections between the female disciples were given the greatest attention of all, for it was recognized that these disciples would have the hardest task. As you have seen from the list of first circle female disciples, they were all related to Jeshua, either directly or through marriage. The older ones, Mariana, Helena Salome, Mary Jacobi, Martha of Bethany, and her sister Mary, had time to form strong bonds of friendship and cooperation before the ministry of Jeshua began. The younger ones grew up together and rediscovered age-old friendships from their earliest years. All these connections served to fuse the first circle of female disciples into a single, dedicated, and tightly knit team, whose fierce loyalty and intuitive linking enabled them to think, feel, and act as one. The male disciples, containing some relatives but coming from different areas of Israel, never achieved this degree of closeness and coordination, nor did they need to. Their task was to present a diverse spectrum so that the way could never be dismissed as just a maverick branch of the greater Essene family, so not looked at as a cult or a group. So if they're coming from different areas and they're not all from the same community, it can't be labeled as just a group that's, like a cult or another religion. The power and commitment of the male disciples within the first circle was such that they would have been taken seriously even if they stood alone. The female disciples, working within the inflexible and patriarchal Judaic society of that time, were never in such a fortunate position. If they could not stand together, they had little chance of influencing anyone and spreading the ideas and teachings of Jeshua. As isolated women in a rigid society, they would simply not have been taken seriously. So their close family connections, resulting from close soul connections, developed throughout many lifetimes. These were a necessary part of ensuring that they could do their work. Thus, a potential weakness in the group was turned into a strength through the hard work of many angels in the setting up of this grouping, and the goodwill and outstanding heart quality of all within the group. If one was looking for a good demonstration of the way that Jeshua taught, one might cite the harmonious collaboration within this group of women. And this is all the more remarkable when set against the rivalry, tension, and suspicion that characterized relationships between some members of the male group. Comment by Stuart. We found the account of this conference fascinating. Here you can see the early planning pulling the threads together so that the team around Jeshua, male and female, would be in place for the vital time of his ministry. As the Essenes worked to support and protect Jeshua on the plane of physical reality, there was another team at work on the angelic level to ensure the success of the whole operation. And now here's a comment from Joanna. This account by Ilariel reminded me of an experience I had earlier in this life. During meditation, I had remembered having a gathering in the interlife before coming into this life. All my friends and relatives had gathered round, and it was as if they were choosing parts for a play. We were all deciding which roles we would play in each other's lives, volunteering to be brother, friend, workmate, and so on. We were even trying out the different parts as if doing a rehearsal for a play. We also discussed when and where we would meet up in this next life, a fairly loose arrangement with a certain amount of flexibility. By now, most of these characters have appeared in my life, but there are still some more to come. Stuart and I are still gathering old members of the Essene family together, and I expect this will continue. Sometimes meeting someone from the soul family can be very emotional with a lot of heart energy, like meeting a very close friend you haven't seen for a long time. But sometimes only one of you remembers. That's the key. All right. So that completes chapter 10. And in the next one, we have chapter 11, which is the two Marys. So I think I will leave this. I'm going to read these each individually so they stand on their own. And I hope that that is okay with you. And that is simply because we've had so many longer 30+ minute videos with this book and with my last several books. So we're going to stop right there. And in the next video, we will read about the two Marys. So that's Mariana, or the mother of Jeshua, and of course, Mary Magdalene. So until I see you again, take care of you and those around you. I love you all so much. Bye-bye.